Hi, everybody. I'm Debbie Belaus with Feel Good Qigong, and I have been talking about the heart and what it does on a physical level. And we're going to talk today about what it does on an emotional level. So now Qigong is an energy practice, a base practice. So what does that mean? That means that we talk about energy quite a bit. It's something you can't see with energy, but you can definitely feel energy. And it's just another layer to us humans. It's another indication of how to self-care on an energetic anatomy level. Now, the heart, they call in Qigong, is the seat of the soul. It holds all our emotionality. So the heart can get very heavy. Now, this time of year, we're also dealing with a lot of heat because it's the summer and a lot of activity. So we really want to be careful between that extra heat that we're feeling and that extra emotional heat, which can lodge in the heart and affect the heart. So we use the word heart quite a bit in our language. You've heard of things like eat your heart out, from the bottom of my heart, in a heartbeat, my heart bleeds for you, follow your heart, have a heart of gold, have your heart set on something, you're tugging at my heartstring. It has an intelligence. A heart has an intelligence, and it's connected also to the brain, which I find so fascinating. So some of the functions of this heart intelligence and understanding the heart intelligence, a couple of things. The heart sends us emotions and intuitive signals to help govern our lives. The heart directs and aligns many systems in the body so that they can function in harmony with one another. The nervous system is very connected to the heart because the heart, if you're really nervous, you're going to have palpitations. If you're really nervous, you're going to feel tightness in your heart. So the brain and the heart and the emotions are all working together. The heart is in constant communication with the brain. The heart's intrinsic brain and nervous system relay information back to the brain in the cranium, creating a two-way communication system between the heart and the brain. So think of that, the heart and the brain. The heart makes many of its own decisions. That was a heartfelt decision. You hear that a lot. So there's a lot of energy in the heart. The heart starts beating in the unborn fetus before the brain has been formed, a process scientists called autorhythmic. Humans form an emotional brain long before a rational one, and a beating heart before either. The heart has its own independent complex nervous system known as the brain in the heart. So that's what I'm talking about, the brain in the heart. That emotionality kind of overrides the brain, the thought process of maybe even making a decision. You're making maybe a heartfelt decision rather than a functional decision. So the heart intelligence. The heart's energy is said to reach about 3 feet outside of the physical body. So energetically, that heart energy, 3 feet outside of the physical body. So when you're around somebody who feels lighthearted, you can feel that energy of being a little bit smoother, a little bit calmer. You can feel when somebody's carrying a heavy heart, there's a heaviness to that. The energy is a little bit more contained. It doesn't feel light, feels very heavy. So again, something to consider that, they're doing a lot of studies on the electromagnetic fields, energy field of the heart. So the heart is front and center this time of year. There's a lot going on socially right now, politically, in the world. A lot of us have heavy hearts. We're feeling this heaviness. Now, it's okay to feel that emotionality. We're supposed to feel that. We're humans. But to stay in that kind of feeling 24/7 could be very damaging to the heart. So I'm going to show you a little some flow movements to kind of dispel some of this heaviness and then bring in some of the lightness, just so you can take a pause during your day to kind of unburden yourself from feeling all this maybe negativity and all this heaviness that I think a lot of us are experiencing. I think it's pretty well universal. So we'll come to standing. My last video, I talked about getting the heat out of our upper body and moving it down below to the lower extremities towards the earth. This is going to be a little different kind of movement. It's more of an energetic movement, not so much physically, but a little bit more on the emotional side, since we're dealing with that heart-brain connection. Okay, so we'll come to standing. I'm going to take you right into a little bit of shaking just to kind of get the body a little bit warmed up and to get some of our circulation going and to get our breath going. It's really important to connect, your breath to, to your body and also your emotionality. I just want to check my microphone's on. Getting some circulation. Maybe you've been sitting for a while. So again, this is an energy-based practice. Qigong is energy-based. So we talk about energy and how energy affects certain parts of our body. And each organ, we work with a seasonal organ. Every organ is kind of front and center for different seasons. We're in the early summer still. Coming out of the early summer, starting to go into the late summer, which will be a totally different organ. But for this season, it is the heart. And that's why we're focusing on the heart and how it affects us during this season. And also there's emotionality to every organ as well. And the emotionality piece for the heart is joy. And the other side of that would be maybe depression, anger. More depression than anger, actually. It would be joy or depression. So if you're feeling depressed, and I am feeling I'm not usually a depressed person, but I am feeling it. I don't have a lot of energy or a lot of energy to even give out. My heart feels heavy. So that's what I'm feeling. I think a lot of people are feeling that, or like you're human. When would you never feel like your heart's heavy? But again, it's okay to stay there. It's okay to feel that, but it could be very damaging if we don't pause and get out of that and kind of send in some healing light so we can move on and feel a little bit more tranquil and calm, and then stop. Hopefully you feel some energy has arrived. We usually feel it a lot in our hands. So let's start working on clearing out some of the clouds. This is called parting the clouds, separating clouds. We're just going to start moving some of this energy. Now I'm going to start with standing on a boat. We're just, again, moving forward on the ball mounts. We shift into the heels. We come forward on the ball mounts, we shift into the heels, and we're going to open a little bit of a flow. We inhale, we rise the arms up. You exhale, you shift back into the heels and you bring the arms down. You inhale, rising up gently and softly. Exhale, shift into the heels, return back to the earth. Inhaling, rise up a little bit. As you exhale, you shift into the heels. So we're finding a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe you can also feel your heart beating. Maybe you can feel some tingling in the fingertips. This is called opening up the flow, trying to get movements that are a little bit more softer, more fluid, taking some of this energy. We're going to move the energy to help us clear out, and then invite in some fresh, maybe clear, more tranquil energy to arrive back into our system. Now, the first one we're going to do is separating the clouds. And on your next inhalation, you're just going to cross your arms over, raise them up over your head like you're taking off your t-shirt. You exhale back down, shift back into the heels. Inhale, coming forward on the ball mounts, rising the arms up. So think of yourself that we use a lot of visualization also. Visualization where your mind goes, the chi will flow. So for this one, just imagining that you're unburdening your heart. You're kind of moving that darkness away, the clouds away, to start having that sunshine appear, the sun appear. So we're just taking the arms up overhead, lifting our spirits up a little bit also, and just letting whatever's burdening your heart to start to move out of the way. And you're using your breath, you're inhaling, start to rise up that energy a little bit, moving anything that's burdening you right now, any heaviness, any worries, any feeling of loss. Or maybe you're just low in your energy field, just want to rise up a little bit more, clearing anything out that you really just can't hold on to anymore, and your heart just can't hold any more negativity. The heart wants space. The heart, just like our bodies, we want to find space in our bodies so we don't have so much congestion, so we don't feel compressed, so we don't feel so heavy. The body wants space. The heart wants space so we can breathe, so we can emote without feeling stuck. So we're just clearing out this emotionality of what you're holding on in your heart. Creating a little bit of an uptick of energy, rising up a little bit, rising up your spirits a little bit, clearing out, moving that darkness away. Just return it back into the earth. The earth will decompose it. So we're inhaling, parting anything that you don't want to hold on to in your heart, creating some space in your heart, clearing it out so you can invite something positive into the heart, so the heart can rest and function without feeling too heavy, too burdened. And we inhale and we rise up and let go. So just imagining your energy, you're drawing up from the earth energy, and you're dispelling any darkness, anything you do not want to hold on to for now, for today, in this moment. Don't worry about for later. In this moment, we're just exercising our energy to rise up and out, releasing anything that seems to be feeling just not quite right. You don't even need to understand maybe how you're feeling right now. We're just working on an energetic level just to displace anything that you don't want to hold on to in your precious heart, your heart that brings joy, your heart that could bring love and send love out. But when the heart is burdened, it's hard to give. So we're just replenishing that joy, that lightness of being in our heart, so we can feel a little bit more comfortable in our own universe and the universe all around you. So we'll do a couple more at your own pace, very simple movement that you can do to clear out. And if you're ever around somebody that you just, after you leave them, you just don't feel quite right about how you feel after that person left, remember, our 3 feet of electromagnetic energy moves out from the heart. So you can pick on somebody energy and you just don't feel quite right. Just do this kind of like a smudging. You're just kind of smudging yourself. Just releasing the clouds. And then take a break. Take a pause, just noticing how you feel. Maybe you feel a little bit lighter. If you don't, you don't. You can maybe do more later or do a little bit more on yourself. So now that we can invite in maybe some of that light, since we've dispelled some of that clouds, it's kind of the same thing, but this time we're going to inhale, we're drawing up some energy. We're bringing the fingers together. So we're bringing some of this energy right towards the heart. Now from here, you're going to fan the fingers and then turn them, and then you're opening it. It's kind of like a porthole, and just releasing this ray of sunshine all the way around you, kind of protecting you almost, and then release the arms down. So you inhale, let's gather some of this energy around you, this healing energy. We're going to bring the pinky fingers especially together, and then you fan out the fingers, making kind of like a little circle of light coming from the heart, and then spread it out, soothe it out, and then release. We'll do this again. We'll do this several times as we gather that beautiful earth energy, bringing it all together right in the center of your heart. And then you turn the hands and you're going to push that sun, that ray of light out, surrounding you and using your own light force, your own electromagnetic field to help soothe your soul, to help soothe the heart, to help bring some light as you parting, separating the clouds, and then release. So again, we're drawing up, we're bringing it in, we're bringing it out and all around. So maybe now we can shed a little sunshine in our own heart space. So we have this beautiful heart that works very hard to find emotionality that where it's comfortable. So certain emotionality does not feel very well, and some emotionalities are wonderful. So it's just discerning how we feel at different times and how it affects this heart space, how it affects your heart intelligence. And push that sunlight out, that good energy all around you. You're protecting your space. You're protecting this 3 feet of biomagnetic field, electromagnetic field that's coming from your heart, that's coming from your heart space. You want to protect it without closing it. There's a difference between closing the heart off and protecting it. Knowing when you want to open it, knowing when you want to kind of shut down for a bit. I always say it's fine to shut down for a bit, just don't stay there too long before it does some major damage. So just spreading that light out all around you, protecting your heart space, gathering maybe some of this beautiful earth energy that's below you that you can draw from, feeling more stable, maybe more tranquil, maybe a little bit more grounded, gathering this beautiful energy from the earth and drawing it out and then sending it back out. Just noticing, that difference between, drawing in and also sending out. What are you sending out into the universe? We have these biomagnetic fields of energy, and also you want to realize, what are you taking in? What are you taking on? And also, what are you giving? What can you give? What can you not give for now? Knowing that difference of knowing when you can give and knowing when you need to fill up. So we're filling up this heart space with joy, with positivity, and with light. Do a couple of more, drawing in, sending out, not so much more for yourself even, sending that light back out, creating this heart space where you can function on a much higher level energetically. And now that we've cleared the space, brought in some light into our own system, we're going to take all of this energy again as we inhale and bring it back to the heart. And just let your hands just hover here right at the heart. Start to feel that heart, the space, filling your holes, feeling that maybe emptiness that you might be feeling, filling it with positivity and light and tranquility and calmness. Be generous to yourself with your own self-love. And then we'll do this again. We're going to gather that energy all around. And then this time, just place your hands right on your heart space. Take a few breaths in and out. Give yourself self-love. Creating that heart space that feels loving and kind and good to yourself, because we need it for ourselves before we can even share it with others. So remember, we're that electromagnetic field, the heart space goes out 3 feet all around you. So what do you want to send out? Because what you send out will come back in. Take a few another deep breaths, and we're going to gather again all this energy all around you, even above you, bringing the palms of the hands together, and then slowly release them back to your heart. Set an intention for your heart space today. Today, I am open to receive into my heart. What do you need to feel that your heart is being taken care of? What do you need? And thank you for joining me in this short exercise of taking care of your heart space and your heart intelligence. And namaste and peace to all.